Okay, today I'm going to go over how to use Storyboard That to make your storyboard for Sorry Right Number. So the first thing you want to do is go to the website Storyboard That. Just follow that link. Then you're going to want to click Login in the top right-hand corner. And then once you're on the login page, right underneath where it says Login, it says Register. So you want to do Register and create a new account. And I think it's easiest to just use your Google account to create that account, but you're welcome, if you just want to create your own username and password, that's fine too. Okay, so now you are in your account and you're going to want to click on Create a Storyboard up at the top, kind of middle. Okay, so what we're going to be doing with this storyboard is representing the parts of plot and writing a description and having the characters be speaking dialogue. We're basically making almost like a comic strip of the story that we read or that we watched in this case. So that's why having that plot diagram available is going to be super helpful for you. So the first thing you're going to want to do is to get the proper number of cells and have them with the proper layout. So you're going to go here to add and delete cells on the bottom left-hand corner. And you're going to go to 3 by 2 so that you get 6 cells and then say update storyboard. Okay, so now you have 6 cells and now we need to have it have the correct layout that we want it to have. So you're going to need to click on layout and then you're going to need to go to title, cell, and description, so that you have a title on each and then a description on each. Now for each one of these, you're going to title them with the part of plot that it corresponds to. So exposition, rising action. I'm going to put 2 rising actions because there's a lot of rising action in this story, right? We talked about how the climax is not until almost the end of the story. Climax, and then falling action, and resolution. Great. So now what I want to do is I'm going to create a scene with characters that is going to demonstrate a summary of what happens during each parts of plot. So for the exposition, if I go back to my plot diagram, I can remember that it's late at night, it's in a family home, we've got Katie, she's on the phone, and the mood is pretty calm. So I'm going to want to create something that represents that for my storyboard. So up at the top, you have different elements that you can put into your storyboard. So there's scenes, that would be like the background. There's characters, that would be the people. Textables, those are your speech bubbles, which you are required to use. So you'll want to make sure that you'll put those in later. Okay, so for scenes, then everything also has like subcategories. So this one says home, indoor. So I'm going to go to that because this takes place inside the home. And I'm going to search through until I find something that I like that I think maybe looks like where the story might have taken place. So I'm going to go with this one. Okay, now you can change anything that you want to on here. So you can see that you can click on this blue edit scene button, and that's going to give you a few options. So you can make like the window different, you can make it nighttime. One thing I don't like about when you make it nighttime is it makes the whole scene dark. So what I might do instead is just go over here and change the color of the sky. So now just the sky is dark, but it's still light inside the house, which I like. You can edit everything, like the color of the walls, the color of the chairs. I mean, you can make it look however you would like, the table, and even the floor. So, do whatever, however you want to make your scene look, you can make your scene look. Okay, so once you have your scene set up, then you want to add a character. So for me, I'm thinking I'll probably just put Katie in. You're welcome to put Bill and the kids in. It's really up to you, sort of how you want to do it. So I'm going to look, they have adults, teens, kids. So for Katie, I'm going to look for an adult. I'm just going to choose her. So I just pull her in. And then I want to give her, some coloring. So I don't want her to just be like a black and white stick figure. So I'm going to give her some hair color, a skin tone. You can change her eyes and her shirt and her pants and everything however you want, just like with the scene. So Then you can also do edit pose on your characters, and there's lots of different preset poses, so you can make her happy or upset. You can do all sorts of different confused, different poses if you'd like to. For this scene, I'm just going to have her be talking on the phone. So maybe she'll have this hand out because she's talking, and then I'm going to have her be sitting. I'm also going to maybe just have her be a little bit shifted to the right so that she can look like she's sitting in the bench here. Okay, perfect. And then you can always resize as well. So if you want to make her a little bigger or a little smaller, you can do whatever you need to. Okay, so now I have Katie and she's in a kitchen, and I now want to add a phone because she's on the phone in this scene. So instead of going through and searching through all of these and scrolling and scrolling and scrolling, there's a search button right up here at the top. So I'm just going to type phone into that search button. Just say no thanks. It wants to get you to add a premium account, but you don't need to do that. And then I want to pick the phone that matches most closely with what the story is. So an iPhone is not probably going to be the best bet, nor is this rotary phone. I'm going to choose this one. And when you pull it in, notice how big it pulls in, right? It's as big as her head. Most phones are not that large, so go ahead and shrink it down a little bit if you'd like to. Okay? Great. So now I'm going to add a description. Sorry, that's the bell. I'm going to put on my mask real quick because I'm going to have students coming in here. So I'm going to now add a description of what is happening in this scene. So I'm going to say something like, in the exposition, Katie is talking on the phone with her sister. Bill is working and the kids are arguing about what to watch on TV. Okay, so I'm just giving like a brief description of what's happening in this scene. Now, the last thing that I need to include is a textable. So I need to have my characters speaking in every one of these frames. So I'm going to pull a text bubble down, and I'm going to try to move it over a little bit. There we go. Okay, and then if you aren't really sure like what you want to have your character say, I would say the easiest thing to do is to pull up the text and find a direct quote from the story that you can use. So in the exposition, I'm going to use this part. Bill, he says he doesn't feel well, but he's always like that between books. So I'm just going to copy, and then I'm going to take that to my storyboard, click, and I'm just going to paste it right in. Okay, and change any of the, sometimes the spacing gets weird when you copy stuff. Okay. All right, so now I have Katie. She is speaking dialogue that is from that part of the plot. I have a description of what's going on. I have a scene. I have a character with color. And this scene is good to go. Now I can move on to rising action. Now, one thing that's really nice about Storyboard is that you don't have to completely remake your characters or your scenes. So if I want the first scene of my rising action to occur in this same location, I can just click on the scene and then click on this little place where there's 2 pages, and that will copy it. And then I can pull it over into the rising action, and now that scene has been duplicated. Okay, so same thing with the character. If I want to pull Katie over, I can just copy her and then pull her over, and I don't have to redo every single thing about her. Now I can still go in and edit her pose and change what she's doing, but this way you don't have to remember like exactly what color you made everything. You can just copy it over. Now, when you're working, make sure that you do save from time to time. It doesn't automatically save like a Google Drive document does. So you want to click on save, just call it something like sorry, right number, and then click on Save Storyboard. And this is also where you will go when you're ready to submit. So if you need to leave and come back to it, you would load this page. You can either click on Edit to get back into it to keep working, or you can go to Download if you're ready to turn it in. So you can click on Download, and you can do either like a PDF or a high resolution image. Any of those are fine. And then once you pick that, I'm just going to do a PDF. It will eventually download. It's just going very slowly. And then you can submit that on Canvas once it has downloaded. Okay, so if you have any questions, please feel free to let me know and have fun with this project.